Bill Collins' Australian Racing Year, a summary of the Group 1 races and the events that made news during the 1982-83 season, presented by Australia's #1 racing commentator, Bill Collins.
Australian racing is becoming increasingly significant from an international viewpoint, as demonstrated by the interest shown in our racing and breeding industries by the likes of Robert Sangster and his partners. In 1982-83, more than 33,000 thoroughbreds contested over 24,000 races for total stakes in excess of $65 million. Of these 24,000 races, only 55 are designated Group 1 for the purposes of international cataloguing. These are the races we'll be examining. The 55 Group 1 races include the main races at principal racing carnivals around the country, the Melbourne and Caulfield Cups, the 3-year-old classics, the major weight for age races and Chief Autumn 2-year-old contests. In total, these races are worth $6.5 million. The Australian Racing Year begins on August the 1st, and from the outset all the racing is geared toward the rich Melbourne Spring Carnival, where $5 million in stake money is available. Naturally, Australia's greatest race, the Melbourne Cup, is the year's highlight, and many of the spring weight for age races are important lead-up events for proven and aspiring stayers. The first weight for age race of real significance is the Group 1 Underwood Stakes of about 2,000 metres at Caulfield on September 23. This year it featured a clash of Australia's Horse of the Year, Rose of Kingston, and the best galloper in New Zealand, the relentless Prince Majestic. But as often happens in weight for age racing, jockeys' tactics are just about as important as the horse's ability.
Fearless Pride had moved up quickly on the outside to take the lead, passing the 600. Fearless Pride in front by a length in advance now from Birchwood, starting to lose ground. Just a dash coming at them. Rose of Kingston's there also, about 2 lengths further back in the field. LA Bijou, Worry Symbol. They're followed by Prince Majestic, well back El Lorena, Isle of Man, followed by Nasman and Silver Bounty as last as they straighten up with about 350 metres left to go, and Fearless Pride is the leader. Rose of Kingston is down the outside, further out to Just a Dash, followed by Worry Symbol, LA Bijou. Fearless Pride being tackled by Rose of Kingston on the outside, and the Bonnie mare, Rose of Kingston, put ahead in front of Fearless Pride, who's battling on very well. Fearless Pride on the inside is finding plenty. Fearless Pride doing the better in the run home. Fearless Pride by a long neck to Rose of Kingston. Prince Majestic came home strongly for third.
Fearless Pride is a superb individual by Without Fear, whose progeny has earned over $3 million from Pride of Killarney, an imported Levmos mare. He was bred in South Australia by Dr. Rex Lipman and is owned by Mr. Keith Gregory. Brent Thompson was the winning rider.
Ready? They're off now. And a painted version, the first.
The spring racing in Sydney and Melbourne features a series of important races for the specialist sprinter milers. The first of these is the Cup, run at Caulfield the same day as the Underwood Stakes, and this year worth $104,500. The favourite was Robert Sangster's brilliant but unpredictable sprinter Galleon, but Magari's colourful owner Nick Collum was very confident of success.
Marlborough Cup was unreal because it was the first of his Group 1 wins. We were all there, we were all very nervous. We sat in the stand there and we'd invited everybody that we knew. You know, if anyone stopped in the street, we'd say, come and have a look at the Marlborough Cup with us. Oh, it's just unbelievable. We sat there and it happened. I don't think we actually believed that it had happened, but we thought he would win.
Coming into the picture, a length and a half Papal Bull on the outside of Avatar, getting closer behind them, our Rani Saab, Sweet and Fast, Captain Fluent Oriental Ruler. They're packing up on the home turn, 450 metres left to go, and painted version moved up on the outside to tackle Torbecker. A length and a half to Galleon, eased off the fence and starting to come home well with Quabo as they straighten up. Painted version's taken a slight lead on Torbecker. Galleon is coming home well down the centre of the track, and just behind it came Pure of Heart, and they're followed by Magari joining in, 150 metres left to go, and Magari on the outside has moved up to take the lead from Pure of Heart on the fence, getting closer. Galleon has beaten Magari's in front, close to home. Pure of Heart trying hard, but Magari too good. Magari by a long neck to Pure of Heart, getting close as run third.
A magnificent race and a fitting result, with the first 4 horses across the line being Group 1 winners. Magari is by Maybe Lad, the sire of the former Horse of the Year, Maybe Mahal, from a mare by twice Australian champion sire Showdown. The winning ride of Robert Heffernan was a feature of this sprint.
The spring racing spotlight moves briefly from Melbourne to Sydney for the important 3-day meeting at Randwick, the headquarters of the Australian Jockey Club. There are 4 Group 1 races decided during the Sydney Carnival. The first of these being the Spring Champion Stakes, a 2,000-metre race for 3-year-olds at set weights. The lead-up races had been dominated by 3 New Zealand-bred colts, Grosvenor, Cossack Prince and Veloso. so naturally they dominated pre-post discussions. Once again, this trio proved a class above their contemporaries.
Cook's gone up there to pocket Grosvenor securely at the moment. Then about a length further back came Veloso, and at the head of the others, Lucky Sensory and Sky Cherub, and last is Admiral Lincoln. They've got about 700 to go, and Patent Prince on the outside just led from So Good with Morna Lower 3 deep behind them. A length and a half to Greatness, and about 2.5 further back, Veloso off round the outside. Cossack Prince in the centre, and on the rails now is Dragnet. He's had to go 4 wide on Grosvenor to make ground, and then Lucky Sensory and Sky Cherub turning for home with about 400 to go. So Good is just the leader from Morna Lower. Patent Prince, here's Grosvenor sweeping on them out wide, and Veloso going with him. Cossack Prince got held up for a run. Now he's clear, but Veloso and Grosvenor have come away. Veloso ahead in front at the 200 from Grosvenor. A length to Cossack Prince going for an inside run. Veloso holding Grosvenor safely. Grosvenor trying to get on terms of having a crack at him now. It's Veloso about a half length, then Patent. He's holding Grosvenor, and Veloso's Too Good wins the spring champion by 3/4 of a length. Grosvenor second, ahead away third. Cossack Prince.
Was by the excellent French-bred but New Zealand-based sire Zamazan. He's trained at Randwick by Neville Begg and ridden by Sydney's #1 jockey Ron Quinton. The colt was sold at the end of the spring to media personalities John Singleton and Larry Pickering. Sydney racing comes alive when its favourite champion Kingston Town goes to the races. Kingston Town made a special appearance in the Weight for Age George Main Stakes on September 25, in what was to be a crucial test of his ability to come back from injury.
A length and a half to Grey Receiver, now getting a rails run. Trying to get up inside Sarroil, but I don't think he'll do that. Yes, no, he's had to go to the outside of Sarroil, and Nordic Prince was last. 600 out, and the leader is still Northern Reward, about a neck in front of Kingston Town, a length to Sarroil. On the outside, Honeyglow 3 horses wide, and splitting them is Grey Receiver and a length to Nordic Prince. Turning for home, Northern Reward is just the leader from Kingston Town with Honeyglow on the outside. Sarroil is looking for a run on the rails behind those, and then came Grey Receiver. Up the rise, and Kingston Town got level with Northern Reward, who's showing plenty of fight. They're almost together at the 200. Kingston Town is flat to the boards. Northern Reward on his inside is going nearly as well. Kingston Town got ahead in front. Northern Reward trying to go with him. It's Kingston Town and Northern Reward head and head. Kingston Town ahead in front, and Kingston Town wins about a long head or a half neck to Northern Reward. 3 lengths away, third Grey Receiver.
Kingston Town is probably the finest product of the Star Kingdom sire line, through champion sires Biscay and Bletchingley. Kingston Town, bred by Mr. and Mrs. David Haynes and raced in partnership with Mr. George Monsborough, was ridden by Malcolm Johnson and trained by Tommy Smith.
Racing in the Epsom handicap, Brewery Boy was a little bit slow to
The
jump.
AJC also conducts a feature handicap double, the Epsom and Metropolitan handicaps. The Epsom was considered to be a match between the Victorian galloper Lawman, a last start winner at Weight for Age, and the outstanding local 4-year-old Dalmatia. From a wide barrier, Lawman was never a winning possibility, but Dalmatia was devastating, and jockey Ron Quinton has high regard for this brilliant racehorse.
And I feel that we've never seen the best of this horse. He was always plagued with slight leg problems, and even leading up to this Epsom, we did have problems with him, and I would say that we never really seen the best of this horse. He was a super little horse, and in my opinion, he would have stayed as well.
Next by Macro Boy. In that group of horses is Lord of Persia, followed by Brewery Boy, and then Tsar Royal in rare form. Dalmatia next over Beach Boy, and a length away to Zingalong. Bianco Lady the outside. 1.5 lengths further back is Rising Planet. Lawman off the track, followed by Cohen Niamban. And last as they swing for home on the Epsom is Tuna 2. 500 metres left to gallop, and on the inside it's Rival Planet just showing the way from Note of Victory. Latin Saint in third position, followed by Clear Apollo. Over on the inside is Silver Lay. Tsar Royal coming down the outside. Dalmatia's into the open now, followed by Rare Form. 220 left to go, and Latin Saint swept to a clear-cut lead from Tsar Royal. And here is the favourite, Dalmatia. Dalmatia put paid to them in the twinkling of an eye. Dalmatia, the favourite, is going to win the Epsom. It's well clear of Rare Form, Tsar Royal, and on the inside battling on Latin Saint, but Dalmatia wins brilliantly from Rare Form.
Yes,
Tsar
a brilliant
Royal,
display by Dalmatia, a son of Cambridge Stud's exciting Sir Ivor horse Sir Tristram. Dalmatia's dam, Gay Juss, is a half-sister to the AJC Oaks winner Gay Poss, giving the Epsom winner strong stallion credentials for his eventual retirement to stud. The Metropolitan handicap was run over 2,600 metres on October 4 and is regarded by the Victoria Racing Club handicapper as an important Melbourne Cup guide. This year, however, the winner was left out of the Melbourne Cup because his trainer didn't think he was good enough, and his jockey, Peter Cook, had difficulty deciding to ride the horse.
I could have ridden Amaranth in the race, which trained by George Hanlon, who I do a lot of riding for. And to make that decision, I left as low as possible and still found it very difficult to decide, so I put him in a hat and Nicholas John came out of it.
From Port Carling, still giving, then life begins. Amaran, Gurner's Lane, Lancelot Owen, Shamrock, the widest runner. Nicholas John dashes to the lead at the 200. Gurner's Lane in second position, followed by Lancelot Owen. Then comes Wellington Road. Nicholas John the leader from Gurner's Lane, Lancelot Owen, Shamrock the outside, then Wellington Road. But Nicholas John is fighting on two Welfries rivals, and Nicholas John wins the Metropolitan. Nicholas John from
The Metropolitan
Wellington
turned
Road
out to be a battle of the lightweights, with all three place-getters carrying less than 50 kilos. There was plenty of merit, therefore, in the effort of fourth-placed Gurner's Lane, who shouldered 55 kgs.
The South Australian Jockey Club conducts its Derby and Oaks meeting at this time of the year, and in previous years these races have frequently unveiled the winners of the corresponding classics in Melbourne the following month. The SAJC Oaks belonged to accomplished jockey John Stocker, who summed up the race perfectly in the early stages and daringly took the lead on Irish Heiress.
Next is Lady Plutus from Skyrunner on the improve, and further back in the field, Tinsel are about to run to the home turn, 400 to go, with the leader Irish Heiress being tackled out wide on the track, moving up quickly by Bizarina. English Wonder is close handy. They're followed in the middle of the track by Taj Bell from Temptress, Tinsel, and here's Miss Clico down the outside, 250 to go, and out wide English Wonder's coming out after Irish Heiress. English Wonder in the middle of the track is racing greenly, going it after Irish Heiress, but Irish Heiress is still a leader. Irish Heiress is holding the bay. In fact, it's coming away in the dying stages. Irish Heiress goes on to beat English Wonder, Miss Clico third. They're followed further back in the field
the
by
sire
Tinsel.
of Irish Heiress, is one of the first sons of the champion Mill Reef to be brought to Australia. Millionaire stands at Narung Stud, one of South Australia's premier nurseries. Most observers felt that the filly English Wonder, the beaten favourite in the Oaks a week earlier, had been a victim of the muddling pace in the early stages. Accordingly, many were prepared to give her another chance in the Derby, which was this year worth $50,000.
Town policy, and further back in the field came our request, dropping out from English Wonder. Bare Fist last for home, second last Valley Lee going between horses. Into the straight, Malvita lays down the challenge to Beau Sir. They're 3 lengths in front of Reckless Ruler. Malvita and Beau Sir, survival of the fittest. Reckless Ruler, the roughies running a big race. My Sweetness, English Wonder right down the outside. Then Rocky Murano, Valley Lee getting up on the inside, but Malvita drew clear. Little English Wonder is storming home down the outside. English Wonder out after Malvita. English Wonder did best, and she stole the Derby in the last stride.
A very strong win to the filly and a powerful ride from Peter Shepherd. English Wonder's sire, Twig Moss, was a Group 2 winner in France and was second to youth in the French Derby. Here's one of South Australia's more promising young stallions. Bianco Lady earned a trip to Perth with a solid win in the Group 2 Sandown Cup of 2,400 metres back on November 13. The New Zealand-bred mare did everything right in Perth, and by the time this race came around, the $175,000 Perth Cup, the mare was a short-priced 10-9 favourite. Her backers never had cause for alarm.
Lady, 3 to Port Carling, 2.5 Swift Night on the inside of Gypsy Rondo, a couple to Die Hard, Miss Roma, 1 to Manitoma, and 3/4 Magic Gauntlet last. On towards the home turn the first time round, and Little Orc in front, fighting for his head by a length. Pulitzer Prize, 1 to Bianco Lady, 2.5 Port Carling, 2 to Swift Night on the inside of Gypsy Rondo, a couple to Die Hard, Miss Roma, Manitoma, and Magic Gauntlet last. They swing into the straight the first time. Pulitzer Prize moves up on the outside now to go to the lead. Over Little Orc, a length and a half, Bianco Lady, 3 to Port Carling, 2 to Swift Night, Gypsy Rondo, then Magic Gauntlet. Die Hard's over on the fence from Miss Roma and Manitoma last. Racing to the winning post now the first time, and it's Pulitzer Prize in front and doing it easily by 2 Little Orc, 3/4 to Bianco Lady, now taken off the rails. 2 to Port Carling, 3 to Swift Night, a length and a half, Gypsy Rondo from Die Hard, Magic Gauntlet, Manitoma, and Miss Roma last. They leave the straight now with 1,900 to run, and Pulitzer Prize by 2 from Little Orc. The pace starts to quicken. Bianco Lady a length away third. Port Carling getting up on the inside of her to be a half away fourth. 4 to Swift Night, 2 Gypsy Rondo, Die Hard, a length and a half, Magic Gauntlet, 2 Manitoma, and a length away last Miss Roma at the 1,700. And the leader Pulitzer Prize, a length and a half, Little Orc, Port Carling on the inside, Bianco Lady, 4 Swift Night, 3/4 Gypsy Rondo, Manitoma, Die Hard, Miss Roma, and Magic Gauntlet last. They go inside the 1,600, half the journey completed. Pulitzer Prize, a length and a half, over Little Orc, a half away away was Bianco Lady. A length to Port Carling, 2 to Swift Knight at Manitouma, 1.5 Gypsy Rondo, 2 to Magic Gauntlet, Die Hard, and 2.5 Miss Roma as they go to the 1200. Little Orc has moved up again to take on Pulitzer Prize. A length behind them, Bianco Lady. A length and a half to Port Carling, 1 Manitouma from Swift Knight, then Magic Gauntlet, Die Hard, Gypsy Rondo, and 2 last Miss Roma as they go down to the 1000. And here's a great go with Bianco Lady going up 3 wide now to take over at the 900. Bianco Lady striding away by a length and a half, but Port Carling gained a beautiful run up on the inside. A length away then to Manitouma, improving quickly, followed by Swift Knight, Magic Gauntlet, then Pulitzer Prize beaten. Around the outside, Die Hard, then came Gypsy Rondo, Miss Roma, and Little Orca stopped in his tracks as they go to the 650. It's Bianco Lady on the outside by 3/4, Port Carling. 2 to Manitouma, a length to Swift Knight, Magic Gauntlet, 3 Die Hard, a length and a half, Miss Roma, followed by Gypsy Rondo, and well back Pulitzer Prize and Little Orc on the turn at the 400, and Bianco Lady starts to stride right out. She's by 2.5 around the corner. The mare Bianco Lady straightened up by 4, Port Carling, then Swift Knight, Manitouma, followed by Magic Gauntlet and Die Hard, but at the 200, and Bianco Lady 6 in front over Port Carling and Swift Knight. It's a cakewalk for the mare Bianco Lady. She's 8 in front over Swift Knight and Port Carling, and Bianco Lady striding right away has won by 8 lengths over Swift Knight, a length and a half Port Carling, 2 to Manitouma.
For jockey Brent Thompson, this was his 4th Big Cup win for the season, having already picked up the Caulfield Cup with Gurner's Lane, the Moonee Valley Cup with Triumphal March, and the Sandown Cup with Bianco Lady.
A new addition to the Group 1 circuit in Australia is the Schweppes Australasian Oaks, which had its inaugural running at Morphettville in 1982, with victory going to Rose of Kingston. This year, elevated from Group 3 to Group 1 status, the Oaks attracted a strong but even field of local fillies. The Bart Cummings-trained Royal Regatta, who had beaten Rom Stiletto in Melbourne during the spring, was favourite at 2 to 1.
The starter is on the platform, the light is flashing. They're ready. They're racing in the big one of 83. Royal Blessing missed the start. Royal Regatta jumped away well with Twilight Capers. Irish Heiress slow to begin out wide as eased over behind the field. Lady Twiggy drops out to last. One of the first to begin was Explicit as they settle down, but going fast, Fair Consul to join it, and Petite Danseuse. Just in behind them is Twilight Capers, and going right around the outside of the field with a good burst of speed to go up and take over the front running is Gold Aussie. Gold Aussie settles down in front now as they go along the back from Confessions, which goes up to be second on the outside. Running third, Petite Danseuse, and a muddling pace early from Twilight Capers. Explicit was flattened there. Twiggerlay further back from Fair Consul. They're followed further back in the field then by My Sweetness charging around the outside. In that bunch of horses too, over on the inside as they come along the back straight with about 1,300 to go is Dudley Express from Tidal Triumph. Further out in the track there is Royal Blessing. Royal Regatta has got back, well back in the field from Dam Burst. Irish Heiress from Val Cave. Further back was Lady Twiggy. And last of all is Grey Mun. They're spread out over plenty of territory in the Australasian Oaks as they go to the 1,000-metre mark. My Sweetness goes to the front from Twilight Capers, inclined to pull on the inside. They're followed by Confessions. Tucked away just in behind them is Gold Aussie. Further back in the field then, over on the inside there. And there's Irish Heiress going around them at a great rate. Explicit the rail from Royal Blessing. They're followed further back in the field then by a Flighty Girl, and down on the inside is Twiggerlay from Tidal Triumph. Royal Regatta is starting a run. Irish Heiress has gone from near last to take up the running at the 600. Out by 2.5 to Twilight Capers, Confessions, and Flighty Girl out wider. Gold Aussie is coming off the fence, and they're followed by Explicit. Royal Regatta around the outside, and further back in the field is My Sweetness as they're about to turn for home. They're followed at the head of the others then as they straighten up by Val Cave, and coming into the picture is Royal Blessing. Down with about 300 to go, Confessions is tackling Irish Heiress. Down the outside is Gold Aussie finishing strongly from Royal Regatta. The fillies are spread across the track. Gold Aussie about to go to the front. Royal Regatta, the favourite, is flying home. Royal Regatta on the outside has raced up to Gold Aussie. It's on the outside. Royal Regatta. Gold Aussie kicking again. Royal Regatta wins. Royal Regatta wins the Australasian Oaks from Gold Aussie. Confessions third.
A phenomenal finish with John Letts absolutely lifting Royal Regatta to the line to grab victory in the last stride. With stakes of $130,000, the Australasian Oaks is this country's richest event for 3-year-old fillies.